I'm Dottie Berry. Most people call me Coach B. I write a column on the mental game for Empower Pickleball, and I want to share some insights from my third column. You practiced all week, you felt ready. Then the tournament started, and someone else showed up. I hear some version of this almost every week from players at every level. Recreational competitors who played brilliantly in drills but unraveled at 9 to 9, tournament players who couldn't access the shot they'd hit 1,000 times in practice, advanced players who said, I just couldn't find my game when it mattered most. Here's what I want you to understand. That's not a confidence problem. That's not nerves. It's a preparation problem, specifically a mental preparation problem. Let's examine the myth of rising to the occasion under pressure. We have a cultural story about pressure that sounds inspiring, but is actually dangerous for athletes. And that's the idea that elite competitors rise to the occasion, that when the moment is big enough, something inside them lifts them above their normal level of play. It's a great movie. It's not how neuroscience works. The truth, and I've seen this across 50 years of coaching elite athletes and high performing executives, is the opposite. You don't rise under pressure. You fall to your level of training. That's not a pessimistic statement. It's one of the most empowering truths in performance science because it means the outcome is in your hands right now, before the tournament, before the match, before the moment that will reveal what you've actually built. When I ask players how they train, they talk about drills, court time, footwork, the third shot drop. That's all real training, and it matters. But here's the question I always come back to. What are you doing to train your mental game on the days between matches? Most players answer nothing, not because they don't care, because they've never been taught that mental performance is a trainable skill with specific reps, specific tools, and a specific system that builds over time. Mental infrastructure isn't a feeling you conjure. It's the trained architecture of habits, patterns, and responses. Your brain will default to when pressure removes the luxury of thinking. Good habits take time. And that's the point. There is no shortcut to good habits. I say that not to discourage you, but to redirect you and to help you retrain your brain. The player who stays composed at 10 to 9 didn't find composure in that moment. They built it rep by rep, point by point, practice session by practice session, long before that score ever appeared on the board. The habits that show up under pressure are always the ones you cultivated in private. And this is exactly what I see in my work, whether it's been with everyday players or elite ones like Anna Bright, currently ranked number 2 in the world. Elite competitors don't perform well under pressure because they have better nerves. They perform well because they have better habits, mental habits, trained so consistently, they become automatic when it counts most. And you can build these same mental habits. You just need to understand how to do it. Here's a daily mental habit that changes everything. You don't need hours a day. You need consistent micro moments, what I call mind shift reps. A mind shift rep is simple. You notice a thought, a reaction, a trigger. You pause just long enough to choose your response. Instead of defaulting to an old pattern, you reset. Over time, those micro moments add up to something neuroscience confirms: new neural pathways, a new default, a brain that responds the way you trained it to, not the way pressure would push it. The 80-20 rule in mental performance tells us that insight, knowing what to do, accounts for only 20% of peak performance. The other 80% comes from daily mental habits you train and implement, not occasional inspiration, not pre match pep talks, daily, consistent reps. What can you do between now and your next match? Here's your mental training assignment for this week. Choose one habit to build, a consistent pre point routine, a breath reset between points, a single phrase you say to yourself after an error. Commit to consistency, not perfection. You're not trying to do it perfectly. You're training your brain to do it automatically. Notice what pressure reveals. After your next match, ask yourself, what showed up? What did pressure reveal about my preparation? And what do I want to build more of? Pressure will always reveal what you've prepared. The only question is, what are you preparing right now?